What's up, skate fam? Welcome to the next episode of Deez Skates. Last year, I released a video called The Beginner's Guide to City Skating. In that video, I talked about some basic things you should watch out for and shared some of my favorite tips for skills that I believe are necessary when you're first starting out on your city skating journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Moving on, this video is a continuation of the first beginner's guide. There are a few things I didn't cover there, and I wanted to talk about it for some time now. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. The skate fam has grown a lot since I released the first guide to city skating, and by now, surely you have too. And you're probably aware of many dangers the city presents. Cars, cracks, curbs, angry pedestrians, and random obstacles are just a few of many things that can quickly come out of nowhere and put an end to your fun. So right off the bat, I feel it's necessary to recommend that you, 1, always wear protective gear in the city. A helmet at the very least, but preferably some pads as well. Personally, I love to wear protective knee gaskets under my clothes, which keeps my range of motion completely open and free while making sure I'm a little safer. And 2, skate in a group when possible, especially at night. The more eyes you have looking out for you, the better. My group not only consists of inline skaters, but also quad skaters and even a group of longboarders. We're all skate fam, so we make sure to use clear communication of where approaching vehicles and dangerous obstacles are. Your fellow skaters and the proper protection can and will save your life at some point. What else can save your life? Leveling up your skill, of course. How can you level up your skill for the city? By training your power skating and your ability to focus on your surroundings at all times. The Oxford English Dictionary defines power skating as the action or technique of ice skating rapidly, especially taught to ice hockey players. But in all reality, this definition was likely written by someone who doesn't have any real grasp on skating. Power skating can be practiced not only on ice skates in hockey game situations, but on quads for roller derby, and especially in our case here, on inlines for the city. And it does not refer only to rapid motion, but more specifically, direct and powerful motions. Power stopping, tight turns, and hard carving are all methods of transferring large amounts of powerful energy from your body, through your skates, and into the ground. As such, power skating is vastly important for control and agility, which naturally are the two most important general skill sets any of us can have while skating in a dangerous place like the city. In what situations will we utilize these powerful skills? On the downhill, for one. I've talked about the need for carving skills a lot, and when it comes to taking on hills, carving is an absolute must. You can always attempt a drag stop to help control your speed, but when it comes to truly steep hills, the drag stop will be minimally effective. You can also use the soul slide, but I don't recommend it because you have far less directional control when your stopping foot is in the front. If you're already moving at a high speed, the only real way to take a huge shot of momentum and get rid of it is to put it into the ground in bursts while directing it from side to side. Carving or skiing back and forth helps with this tremendously. When you carve, you'll want to put a whole lot of sudden pressure into the back edges of the skate. I personally like to train my carving by setting up cones and trying to turn as tightly as possible around them. The main things to remember here are always look where you're going. If you're in the process of passing a cone, you shouldn't be looking at that cone, but instead the cone that you're headed to next. Doing this will train your habits in a way that ensures you're always paying more attention to where you're going. Also, the lower you get your body, the wider you can get your feet apart, and that will allow you to gain more control and ensure that if you fall, your body doesn't have as far to travel. That said, also consider using skates that have longer frames for days when you plan on doing a lot of downhill skating in the city. Traffic is unavoidable if you're city skating. You will absolutely end up in situations where you're almost hit by vehicles. No matter where you live, you're going to deal with drivers who either are not paying attention or are outright angry that you're even around. Also, the laws in your city may dictate that you skate on the road, in the bike lane, on the pedestrian paths, or maybe even not anywhere. I don't know. I'm not here to tell you how to follow laws or what to do. I'm just here to help you develop the skill to do it safely so that you get to lace up another day. For that reason, when skating in traffic, my recommendation is that you always look both ways anytime you travel through an intersection. I know this sounds like the most elementary advice ever, but I mean every single time. Whether you have the right of way or not, you absolutely need to be locked into paying attention to whether a car is crossing through the intersection. Anytime you pass through an intersection and avoid checking just because you have the green light, you're putting your life in the hands of people who text and drive in busy cities. Can you really trust random drivers that much? I don't. Aside from traffic that crosses your path directly, any good skater knows that traffic problems can arise from any direction, and we need to be able to react to a sudden emergency. Being able to change the position of your footing on demand is a must-have skill. You need to be able to skate competently, forward, backward, and even sideways. A squirrely situation could end in a faceplant or worse if you aren't able to control yourself in every position you could land in while moving in any direction. Sometimes it could be as simple as skating sideways to make yourself smaller while drivers force their way by you, or carving quickly to the side to avoid a vehicle that swerves into your space. In my city, we even have electric scooters and mopeds that are allowed to ride on the sidewalk. So make a plan to learn as many skating positions as possible, because no place will ever be completely safe. I have an older tutorial on how to skate sideways if you need help with that particular skill, which I'll link in the description below. It's a difficult skill for many to learn, but if you commit to learning it to the point where you can actually react with it, I promise you will be thanking me at some point. Cracks are a skater's worst nightmare. I know I've talked about them before, but I can't help reiterating just how dangerous they can be. They can blend in with the road and be very elusive. Sometimes they'll be clear as day because of raised sections of pavement. Other times they'll catch you quick and off guard. Most cracks are easily avoidable by relaxing as you roll over them and also crossing over them at an angle. Cracks that run parallel to the direction you're traveling are the most dangerous though. I mean, they can be one of the most dangerous parts of city skating, period. Imagine your wheels sink down into a crack. Suddenly, they stop rolling, and your body keeps traveling. But because your foot is caught in the crack, your momentum twists your upper body around. Can you imagine the injuries that can come from this scenario? So again, make sure to attack cracks in the road from an angle that's perpendicular or opposite to their traveling direction. A helmet and pads can't save you from every injury. Another reason for actively training your skating abilities and focus is unexpected objects. I've run across some pretty crazy things in my time. Speed bumps are surprisingly common in the city, light poles and fire hydrants, tables or chairs randomly placed on the sidewalk. Check out these airplane cables I didn't even see until it was almost too late. Luckily, I was focused enough to react without getting hurt. Also, I had a run-in with a fire hydrant like right after that. The city really had it out for me that day. More reasons why sideways skating and effective power stops are important skills to have. Let's go back to that for a second. In both situations, I focused on remaining relaxed. In my run-in with the cables, I could have easily lost control and flipped over them. In dealing with the fire hydrant, I dropped off the pavement into the grass and then came back up onto the pavement. I could have just as easily tripped in the grass as soon as I hit it. Remaining relaxed is the key to dealing with sticky situations. So David, how do I remain relaxed when things get scary? Well, everyone is different. We all have varying levels of anxiety, panic, and fear when we're confronted with danger. I don't think there's an end-all solution to conquering your fears and remaining calm in bad situations. But what I can tell you is what works for me personally. Before I go out and jump into the fray, I do things that settle my mind and help me prepare to always be focused and in the moment. Usually that's a combination of meditation and stretching combined with a light warm-up. Personally, I feel like I get the most benefit from meditation. It helps me to not only deal with physical dangers, but also let go of any confrontation that might occur and quickly continue on. At the end of the day, letting others get you riled up is just giving too much control over your fun to people who don't matter and definitely don't have your best interests at heart. City skating should be fun. In spite of the risk, city skating has limitless potential to aid your physical and mental growth. The important part of learning is to accept where you are and appreciating each bit of growth as it happens. Like the famous Chinese proverb says, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." Learn to appreciate each and every small victory in the moment as it happens. One day, you'll look up and see a long pathway that you've covered by achievements. On your way there, don't forget to like this video and click the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments what you do that helps with your focus in the city. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you the next time I lace up.